This video briefly explains the major changes to Title IX that is proposed in the NPRM. I use Title IX language to refer to the victim, called complainant in Title IX, and the person accused, called the respondent in Title IX. This isn't to offend anyone. It is to make the terms familiar to you. The first bucket discusses the expanded protections in the proposed rule changes. The Title IX changes protects not only students from sex-based harassment, such as sexual assault, domestic violence, dating violence, and stalking, it also protects access and participation in education programs and activities for gender identity, gender expression, and characteristics of sex. For example, it will protect students and employees who are teased repeatedly about how they appear physically or how they dress if it is based on sex. Students who experience pregnancy, birth, or termination of pregnancy cannot be excluded from and must be offered modifications to classes such as assignment extensions, or absences. This isn't explained in the current Title IX rule. Students who identify as transgender or non-binary can use the bathroom they want to use. This is not covered in the current Title IX rule. A respondent or person accused can be removed from campus temporarily and immediately during a Title IX investigation. This isn't possible under the current Title IX rule. Sex-based harassment can be severe or pervasive, where currently it has to be severe, pervasive, and objectively offensive to create a hostile environment under Title IX. And finally, peer-to-peer retaliation is a new definition in the proposed Title IX changes. The next bucket explains prompt and effective institutional response. Institutions must have a prompt and effective response to sex discrimination, including sex-based harassment on campus and off campus. Under the proposed changes, for example, if a sexual assault was reported that happened at an off-campus party where the complainant, victim, and the respondent, accused, are in class together, and the complainant has a hard time attending class because of the assault, an institution must respond using Title IX. Under current Title IX rule, an off-campus house party does not count, and institutions do not have to respond. The changes also include sex discrimination during study abroad experiences. The current Title IX rule does not cover anything outside of the United States. Supportive measures are ways to maintain access to education programs and activities when a report is made for both complainant and respondent. Examples are an assignment extension or changes in living arrangements. The changes allow for supportive measures to be challenging to the respondent during a grievance procedure. Using this previous example of a complainant who reports a sexual assault by a classmate, the respondent can be asked to complete the class as an independent study until the investigation and decision is finished. The current Title IX rule does not allow this. The proposed Title IX changes would require teachers, advisors, and coaches to report to the Title IX coordinator if they are told about sex discrimination. The proposed changes would require training for all employees, but training specific to the employee's role. For instance, a dean of students who might also be a decision maker has more training topics than employees who work as a cook. Finally, the post-secondary grievance procedure to resolve sex-based harassment has been added to the proposed changes. It's a separate procedure for post-secondary institutions. A grievance procedure is a school's way of finding out what happened. It includes an investigation and decision whether a violation of Title IX occurred. Under the proposed changes, this process can be started by a victim or survivor or someone who is subjected to the discrimination or sex-based harassment. A person can tell the Title IX coordinator or put it in writing to start the process. The current Title IX rule requires a written formal complaint signed only by the victim or survivor to start a grievance procedure. Current Title IX rule requires specific timelines in a live hearing and cross-examination where the respondent and complainant must attend. Under the proposed changes, schools decide whether to have a live hearing and/or use cross-examination of parties and witnesses by an advisor. With or without the live hearing, the proposed changes say parties have the right to see relevant evidence and the ability to question that evidence. It requires some kind of evaluation of the evidence by a decision maker. This could be the decision maker asking questions instead of having a hearing. The proposed changes don't require an investigation report, but requires a written explanation of the outcome.